Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all. Here we are entering another London live session, September 18th. So let's get right to it. So GJ, we can see here again, GJ opened up with no wick. So let's go to the daily here. So you can see here no wick. There's a daily EMA below. So we can definitely reach here. It's a whole wick right here. I'm on the daily right now. Even the previous daily dipped all the way down here, and on Thursday they tap here. We can see that it can come back here. Let's look at the amount of pips here. So it's about 32 pips from where it's at right now, around there. In terms of the range, it's in nothing formidable. The formation of the range right now, because of, again, this gap that I open up with the no wick candles, two straight 1 hour candles with no wick. We can definitely see price reaching back down, right? So, it's not, far off. Now, let me take a look. So there's an EMA here. Let me take a look at a higher time frame. The 2 hour, again, can we compute this as a range right now on the higher time frame? Not really. It's nothing too exact. It's not consistent. But you can see right now it's in this small range right here. What type of range is this? 11, 12 pips. Let's draw the top and bottom end here. You can see here has tapped this area, right? So it's too much of it's a small range for us to, be able to trade this right now. And again, the 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, right? You can see here. So the higher levels of accuracy in terms of, the price moving in accordance to the range, those moves are pretty much already done, right? 2 and 2 and 3 and 3, right? And again, it's such a small range that we really don't have much breathing room to even set some buy or sell stops, and even the instant execution. No, it's too small of a range, right? So we can't capture that, unfortunately. It's gonna have to break out of this range, this small consolidation zone. Again, we're looking at one target would be the EMA tap down here, and then we can see, after, again, this is a daily EMA. This is very close. We can see on the higher time frame that indeed this has been a level of support here, and respecting the range here, right, on this end. So let's take a look here. So you can see the 1 to 1. You slightly adjust this right here, the 1 to 1. This was shown last week as well on the stream, and we followed this large move throughout the week. So it's nothing unusual, that this move was not seen or visible. We're actually tracking it the whole time. And now, you can see the price did dip down here as well again, all the way here. And then it broke off here and went to the daily EMA, right? So from this end, let's go here. Let me bring this back up to here. So can we see another range forming on the higher time frame here at this level right here? Right, and the baseline being, the bottom end being the daily EMA. right? So we have something pushing on this end. Let's take a look right here. And let me remove this. We can keep that, so that's for the daily EMA tracking. And now we can take a look here. So the 1-to-1 touch, then second to second, and it might be coming back down here. And then we can see maybe the third touch up here. So that's a move that we can follow, you know, on the higher time frame. Let's see how many pips that is. It's about 1920 pips. So not bad. Not bad at all. So we can continue to actively watch this range. Right, so once it got out of this range, it entered into this range. And at least it's following the second tap, right, to the bottom end of the range. And we're going to have to track this. So there's that smaller range that we drew. So let me just remove this for the time being. There was a 50-minute EMA tap, or near tap, right? And now I can continue to push down. And not only can it fill up this non-wick candle, but it can also fill up this non-wick candle, which, you know, the daily candle opened up with for Monday. So, and then once it reaches down here, the daily EMA tap, let me just make sure it's right there. Yeah, the daily EMA is right there. Right at the bottom end of the range. And we're going to have to see now if price can indeed reach down here. It would help our cause here to potentially set some buy stops once it gets around down in this zone, right? And the furthest it's gone down below that EMA has been about 18-19 pips. So we can definitely see that the price pushes down past the daily EMA. And at this area, we can go ahead and look for buy stops. So we're going to have to be patient here. Again, it is a Monday. There is slower movement for today. Let's take a look at quick look at the fundamentals for today. And again, we see nothing. There is tentative, you know, news for euro, for the euro currency, but nothing major. And then until New York opening, there is some CAD and USD news, but again, it's nothing major, right? So it's it may not, you know, we may not see big, large movements today for either, you know, either our pairs that I trade, so USD CAD and GJ, but nonetheless, it can still respect ranges on the smaller time frames, and that's what we are here for. So let's, you know, keep an eye on that. Let's look at USD CAD here. So higher time frame, we got something like this. On the lower time frame, we had this range ongoing last Thursday and into Friday. So this was a clean setup, a clean range. This is how many pips? Let's take a look. About 22 pips, so small range. Not bad. We had this consolidation zone on Friday and into today's opening. 9-10 pips, so very, very minimal here, similar to GJ. And so right now we don't really have much, again, going on for USD CAD either. Right, so slower moving day definitely, you know, as far as Monday morning goes. So yeah, let's keep a track on GJ. It's not far off from the bottom end of the range. But at the same time, where GJ stands right now, you can see above the price, there are higher time frame EMAs, right? The 30-minute EMA, the 1 hour, then we got the 2 hour, and then the 4 hours up above here as well, right? So again, if this was the bottom end with a daily opening, it could definitely be like this, and this can continue up. But for now, we're just going to keep it adjusted to, towards the daily EMA, and potentially see that GJ can come down and not only fill this non-wick daily candle, but also come down and tap the daily EMA. And then once it shoots down here, potentially, we can go ahead and see if we want to enter some buy stops. Again, that would be more of a swing setup all the way up to here, or at least to the 4-hour EMA. But we're going to look for a smaller setup to at least get 20 or so pips, so we can capture during the stream. But again, that's if we get some pickup. I mean, we have about 30 minutes into London opening, so we'll see how the price reacts around that time frame or even prior. And so that's kind of the outlook for this stream right now.
The setup numbers. The thing that I needed to reduce is the amount of trades I take and just risk more on the trades that have higher probability of playing out. Because you're better off taking less trades instead of taking more trades with less probability. You're better taking less trades with higher probability, and there's no such thing as more trades and higher probability. Otherwise, you would make millions from the market in seconds. That doesn't exist. You have to, give up one to have the other, and give up another to have another. If that makes sense. How did you mark your range? We did it in the beginning of the stream. I explain all of that. How much you risk per trade, percentage wise? Probably around 3%. Can you explain how I draw support and resistance? I have a video that explains. If you're new to trading,
All right, guys, here we see a potential break of this range. Let's see if it completes the push. Again, we still have about 27 minutes to go before London opening. Not sure if GJ will push prior to that, let's see if the current candle gives some push, as it seems to, getting some volume here. Currently a 9 pip candle and going, right? So you could see now this non-wick candle can be filled, and that's also on the hour time frame. And then this non-wick candle, which is also the daily candle, right, with no wick. And GG can come and fill both of these and then go further to tap the daily EMA. Right, so there's three things that give us some credibility that GJ can come down, right? And there's the fourth thing is this range itself is part of these larger range that we just drawn out, right? Just shortly into the stream. So you could see now GJ was, and these are a lot of the ranges we caught last week as well. So very nice week that we had last week. But this was a larger range last week ongoing, and we were following this throughout the streams day by day, and everything connected beautifully. And now we can see that GJ may have entered into this somewhat large range as well. And it's going for the second touchdown now, right? And it adds again credibility, right? The second touch on the range because of, again, added confluences, non-wick candles, EMA taps, especially higher time frame EMA taps, and the current breakout of this smaller range. So there's a lot of things that can tell us that GG can come down. Now the only thing is on the other side, there are higher time frame EMAs above the small range that we drawn out here, right? So there is the 30-minute EMA, the 1 hour, 2 hour, and even 4 hour, right? So for that reason, I wouldn't enter this setup for a sell, just because it could do a little fake out and then come back down after London opening. But certainly if it does do that move, the push down here towards the downside and the bottom end of the range, we could definitely look for some buy stops once it enters in. Let me just drag this. Once it enters in this zone here below the bottom end of the range and the daily EMA. And at this point, we can make a decision whether we should go ahead and enter some buy stops. But right now, we're just looking for some volume from GJ to push down. And I mean, rightfully so, it is doing that. So that's something that, we're going to have to keep an active watch on now. In between now and then opening, which is in 23 minutes. So let's see. All right, so we do see again a break out potentially. Let's see on the higher time frame, but again on the 30-minute, 50-minute, sorry, you can still come right back. We still have 5 minutes to go. It can suck itself back right into this small range. And again, it's not a big range to even for us to trade. This would be considered a non-tradable range, just because of its sheer size. I mean, very small indeed, right? And again, it's caught up in this range, so we're not sure if it's gonna go either way on to the top or bottom. But again, there's certainty that it can definitely come down for the reasons of non-wick candles, and these are higher time frame. If you look at the higher time frame, you can see with this gap that it opened up, GG opened up with daily candle, right? So it's a large time frame non-wick candle. Also, this one as well here, right on the 1 hour, you can see that this is also a non-wick candle. There is the daily EMA. There's the bottom end of the range. Price has come here. We're nearly here at the beginning of the day, and last Friday or Thursday, Friday. And again, you can complete the second touch of the range. So a lot of different confluences that can, that align to allow us to, believe and understand and speculate that GJ can come to this zone, and then we can go ahead and act on taking buy stops or not. But until then, until we see a bigger move from GJ now, we're going to have to wait until London opening and see, right? But generally, it's a slower moving market. It is middle of the month, right? So you can see again here, not much going on, even for USD CAD. So nothing much. Tuesday again, we got CPI for CAD. Wednesday we have USD, but that's late New York session. Thursday, okay, we got some GBP, but that's again late London session. Right before London and New York meet. And then we got a lot of things going on for Friday. So yeah, so it's a slower part of the week in terms of fundamentals or high impact news, and also it's the middle of the month, so we did capture a lot of high fundamental events in the first 2 weeks. So again, nothing crazy going on, and in those periods sometimes we may not get a setup, right? So that's what we're looking for, to see if GG can push down here, so we can possibly enter some buy stops. But that all depends on how much GJ picks up in volume, either again prior to London opening or in about 17 minutes with London opening. But it kind of seems that it's going right back into this very small range here, 10-11 pips. Alrighty. Sorry guys, I realized that I had another tab open. Just so you guys don't bore you guys with no talking at some point. So we'll be adding some background music while we get some more engagement in the future. Okay, so 50-minute closed off here. And on the 30-minute, again, you can see that it can jump right back in. And this is the reason why, even if we have confidence that GJ could push down. So let's say for here, for example, let's say we are at the top of this range, right? So price was at the top of this range, and we have confidence that it's going to come down. Let's say it taps the EMA here. We have confidence it's going to come down to fill up this non-wick candle here, then this non-wick candle, and continue to push down. But we have to realize that sometimes the market can do a big fake out as well, right? So it coming down here, I mean, how many pips was that? That was around what is it? Yeah, potentially, let's say 16, 17, 18 pips. However, if we were to hold this, we could potentially lose everything out on this, right? So that's the reason why I didn't even want to enter it within this range. Not only that it's too small in pips, in the amount of pips, but also for the fact that it could come back and potentially, stop us out or potentially go into drawdown for that setup. So we're going to keep an eye on this and see in the next 13 minutes if we get a push, or we just wait for some London volume pickup so we can then react accordingly. All right, guys. Again, you can see on the 30-minute, it could again pull back, fall back into this range before the hour closes, and possibly make a move up to tap a higher time frame EMA than what it did, right? The 50-minute EMA nearly got tapped here, but we do have the 30, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour, right? Even though the daily is below, you know, never assume that it's going to follow that, right? Because again, the range was respected. It could fall back into the range, but also because the anticipated move may be bearish with, you know, the non-wick opening of for the daily candle, but it can definitely come up here and do a tap of the 31 hour, 2 hour, or 4 hour, and then come back down, right? Again, that would be a tremendous jump up, right? A tremendous bullish candle. And that's why it could be a little dangerous again, trading within this sort of range here on a slower, Monday morning. Yeah, so it's a strong, 5-minute bullish candle that's pushing to close or pushing to, kind of enter that range again. So just going to be patient here. Let's stick with the 15 minutes for now. And USD CAD, let's go on the smaller time frame. Yeah, nothing consistent. Nothing consistent from where, USD CAD opened for the day. Yeah. It's been pretty slow as well. Right, how many pips did it move overall today? Let's see. About 20, 25 pips, but it's back in to less than 18 pip, movement since the opening. So not much going on there. You can see GJ did have a big push from the onset. So 50, 52 pips. And now it's coming back down. We could see some type of, let me see here if that non-wick candle here. Let's take a look at that. If that has been filled, let's measure with this horizontal rate. Might be right on the line here. But anyhow, that this could be a larger end of the range, maybe applicable, right? So 1 and 1, and 2 and 2, right? So, but we're gonna have to wait and see if that indeed is the case. We have about 4 minutes left till London opening. So let's see where GJ ends up, either in the range or above or below. Right, so if it closes below, we could have an indication that it's going to push down with the London opening volume. And then we can go ahead and, get ready for our buy stops. As we know, not only the smaller range, but even the higher time frame range, we know what's probable here. All right, so let's just wait out a couple more minutes, and we will see what goes on with London opening. All right, guys. So London opened up. However, again, nothing that we can make of London right now, with the London opening right now with GJ. So now it's caught up in this consolidation zone, as you guys can see. Now can GJ push down, close off? So it did now fill up this non-wick candle, as you can see. But now this is the daily non-wick candle, right? But again, we do have EMA taps above. So we'll, the London opening push up the price to maybe potentially tap these higher time frame EMAs and then come back down, right? But this range right here is non-tradable for the many reasons I mentioned in the stream already, right? One is the small amount of pips that this range computes. Secondly, the fact that again, it's there's higher time frame EMAs above, and we're caught up in the middle with this, right? So this is where GJ has been settling today, and ideally you probably don't want to enter that, especially on a Monday morning, where price is just settling. So let price move here. Ideally to our certain zone here, and then we can take it further. So let's see here. Let's give it a maybe at least 15 minutes to the first 50-minute candle opening, or the next. This is the next 5-minute candle now. Let's see. Alrighty, guys. So we did see a big push here. As was mentioned. So let's see now if GG can indeed come down. So it did fill up this non-wick candle. It did fill up this non-wick candle, as mentioned. And now we're looking to fill up, or at least tap, since it has come down here, tap the daily EMA. So you can see now the whole daily candle was a mere wick. So let's see if it can come and tap this EMA. And then we can take a look at how we set up buy stops and so forth, right? So very predictable, non-tradable range here. And now we got GJ to fill up the non-wick candles. And looking to see now if GJ can come down and tap this daily EMA, which has, again, a larger certainty now since it has pushed down now. So it was about, what, 6 pips? Now it's about, what, 12 pips away. So let's see for GJ to push down here. Now, the way it's moving now with, it picked up volume from the London opening. The way it's moving now, it can definitely push past the daily EMA, right? So it still has some good bearish momentum. And then we're going to see now if it will continue down. Let's look at the weekly here. So definitely there's a weekly. Oh yeah, that's definitely far away. But let's go back to the daily. And let's take a look. What's going on the smaller time frame now? All right, right here. All right. Still, there's a push here that we need. Right, so again, it's not much. We just opened up London with London opening about 20 minutes ago. And if GJ can push down further another 12 pips, can tap the EMA here. And then as expected with the, with the larger bearish momentum right now, can definitely reach this end down here. And that's where we can get our buy stops in order, right? So we can get those ready while GJ pushes further down, past the EMA here. So that's kind of our target to see what we can do here in terms of buy stops once it pushes past here. So that's the patience here on a slower Monday morning. I believe there is a JPY holiday today, which would be Sunday my time, right? So yeah, there is a bank holiday for JPY, but nonetheless, it is London opening, and we are trading GBP, and that's why we're getting that volume here, after the opening. And it can certainly, push down here as well, right? So there's confidence that it can come down here and tap this area, which would give us more confidence to be, to be able to enter, buys here. Alrighty. Still again waiting for GJ. So you got caught up in this consolidation zone earlier, prior to London opening, and now it's in this target zone here. So we could definitely see again it pushing down past the lowest point it has gone, right? Just about 10 minutes ago, and come down towards the daily EMA, right? So we're looking for that tap as a significant marker for us to set up some buy stops, right? So the buys are not ready yet, and we need to, make sure that we do it safely. We set up the buy stop safely, and not, take a added risk right now and try to buy right now, right? Even if GJ comes up here, it's not going according to our plan, so we don't want to take that risk. Anytime when you don't follow your plan, you increase your risk, right, of losing that setup. And even if it goes right, it wasn't following your system or plan accordingly, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that it's in accordance to our plan, and then from that perspective, you can go ahead and do the setup, right? At least you lower your risk with the system. All right, here we're getting a push, so now it's a new 30-minute candle. Nice volume push here. Okay, so it's pushing. Again, we're still some distance away from the EMA. Now I just made a reversal here, but it is in this, kind of consolidation zone right here now. This one right here. And this is also about 10 pips. So we're going to have to see how this plans out. All right, you can see that it's still trapped in this consolidation zone. And not quite a reversal here yet. Could come and tap this EMA as well, but still stuck in this zone. And again, would we trade this way down? So let's just say, for example, if this was a setup here, or this was a range, would we set this up right here? Let me just draw this here. So you could see that there was this consolidation zone here, and then there's this setup right here, right? I don't want to go too small in time frames, but look at the 3-minute here, right? As you can see, there's this potential range right here. So it can tap up here, or it could continue down, and then we could trade this range down to here, right? But if it does a reversal here, then this becomes a high risk trade, right? Because on the higher time frame, you can see that on the 30-minute, it could push all the way up here, even if it comes back down and taps the EMA. So again, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get a setup today. It's just not moving in accordance. But it was moving in accordance to our plan in terms of, we're waiting, again, not trading this range, but waiting for GJ to push down here, all the way to the EMA, right? So in that sense, GJ is following our plan, right? Now, will it follow our plan, before New York opening, or at least in the next hour or so? We're not sure about that. So that's something that we're going to have to be patient with and see if it does follow, or it completely goes the other way. So let's see here. So now it's giving that reversal push here. Again, could be very temporary here. Let me remove this. It could also be that this is a range here. So this was a non-tradable range, but this range could be tradable if it rejects here. But really have to see how price reacts once it enters the non-tradable range to see, can we get a sell here. But again, we do have to lower our risk, right? So if it's respecting this range right here, can we get the tap here, and it rejects here and then comes back down, right? And let's look at the pip amount here. Should be definitely around 20 pips or so. Yep, 21 pips. So that's something that could be more interesting as a setup. But we also have to see that will this 5-minute EMA hold up, or will price just kind of run through that and even get to the 15-minute EMA. Alrighty. And you can definitely fit into this 20 pip range here. That could be something ideally that could work. It's coming for that tap. Yeah, so if GJ comes and let me see how many pips that is. So GJ come tap this. It's what, 6-7 pips. And then let's take a look at the 15-minute here as well. 13 pips. And the 30-minute is above this range. Okay. So yeah, if it can come up here, I'll look to set some sell stops around, let's say the 970 mark, or even 970 mark. Let's say right here, and capture maybe 15 to 16 pips on the way down. So that's something that we can work towards if GJ makes a push here. Again, which it can. Okay, and let me just get this in writing here. So that would be around 182, 970, right? So These would be sell stops. Let's remove this. Okay. We're going to wait for it, so I'm just going to keep it on the side here. Wait for price to reach this zone here. This zone, let it tap this EMA and maybe fluctuate here even to the 50-minute EMA, and then we'll set the sell stops for the move down, right? Now if price doesn't, it just continues down from here, then we're gonna have to wait for the larger setup that we have down here, right? So we have both biases kind of stamped here, and we're just gonna be patient here and just wait out for this one now. Okay, it seems like GJ is just pushing down now. So there's no way our sell stops, would be tapped right now. Just remove that on the side here. Okay. So we kind of have this, this small range right here. but really can't decipher, a setup from here right now at this moment. We got about 2 minutes left till the next 50-minute candle closure. But definitely, we did get some pickup of volume, but definitely a more, softer Monday morning uh, for GJ. We got some sort of a range right here for USD CAD. It's about 12 pips. So let's set something up here. We have a non-wick candle down here. And we have an EMA tap coming. Again, lower time frame. We got a tap here. But GJ is pushing down here. So, all right, here's a new 50-minute candle. So all these have been bearish 50-minute candles. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Potentially the 7th one now. So you can definitely see that there's bearish momentum. Even the hourly candles all appear to be. See where the 50-minute EMA is. Right, so we're not sure that this USD CAD range would hold up because the way GJ is pummeling down right now, right? Again, due to the inverse relationship between GJ and USD CAD, if GJ is pushing down on the downside, likelihood of USD CAD is continue to push up, right? If we don't get a reversal here, it will continue to push up. Right, so we could see something along the lines of this setup right here. Mr. Cat's tapping here now. Could we see a rejection come down? Right, so we had this. Could we have it come down? Or continue to move up toward the 50-minute EMA? And with GJ, could we have it reverse here? Right, but we have a daily EMA below here. So when we have something like that, I normally, to decrease our risk, I will normally wait for the tap here. If not, and it continues up, that's perfectly fine. But I'm just going to follow the plan here, the game plan. Because now if you go ahead and buy and then, GJ comes down and taps this and then goes up, now you're in drawdown or possibly, you risk to lose that setup and have to re-enter a new setup to make that up for, make that loss for that. So, not worth it. Just follow the game plan. And I think that'll be the best game plan here. So we can see now, we're going to keep an eye on USD CAD here. Again, I'm not in this setup, but we're following the setup side by side with GJ as they are inversely correlated. Now, one of the confluences is not only the USD CAD range here, the bottom end, is pretty consistent in line with previous taps here, but also there's no wick on the current candle here, which the price can come down and fill as well. So I wouldn't take the setup, but again, you can see that it's working pretty well right now. And GD would be flipping here, reversing here to tap maybe potentially the top end and the 5-minute EMA here. So again, with your due diligence, you guys can see if you guys would go ahead and enter these setups. Okay, let's see. Yeah, GD could definitely reverse here and go for the 5-minute tap, 5-minute EMA tap. We got about 11 minutes left till the hour candle closure. Let's see. Will GD come all the way back up? So again, it could come up here, tap this EMA, and then come down. So USD CAD here. All right, let's see here. Are we going to get the complete push? Again, the daily EMA is not far off from where the price is right now. It's about 7-8 pips away. So you can certainly come down and tap this daily EMA right here, actually. So USD CAD will continue the push down. All right, G just coming down. So we can remove. Now we can look for the buy area and let's see what GJ does here. So now the hour is closing. And again, everything is going according to what we would like it GJ to do. Our target area was the daily EMA, and it came right down almost to the daily EMA tap. So only about 4 pips away. So let the price come down, right? Tap this and come down somewhere in this zone here, right? Where it has reached last week. In fact, last Thursday. So let it reach in this zone, and then we get our buy stops ready. Right, so we're going to take a look at where ideally it would be fit for a buy stops, to be entered. But we need the price not only to come down here to tap the EMA, but come down in this area. And that way we'll be more comfortable taking the buy setups here. Now, just to make a point here, we have seen GJ be completely bearish today, right? So you can see in the 2-hour candles, 1-hour candle, 4-hour, right? Strong bearish momentum. Even the daily right now is flipped over now, and the engulfing part of the candle is bearish, right? So we see that huge bearish push. So that's something that we have to watch out for in terms of, setting buy stops in such a way where it's safe and we don't just get tapped and, price comes down here, we get tapped, and then boom. So that's something we need to watch out for. And placement is key here when you do, set buy stops or sell stops. So let's see, will it respect this current range or will it come down? There's about 5 minutes left. Actually, we got 1 minute left till the 5-minute candle closure for the last 5 minutes before the hour candle closure. Let's look at the hour time frame here. Well, you can see that was a huge wick for USD CAD. Let's see if it rejects the EMA and then it comes back down. And USD CAD or GJ. Here is the last 5 minutes. See if it pushes down here. Okay, will it reverse here? So again, if price does come up all the way here, we do obviously have the 5-minute EMA tap here. So I could then look at the sell bias for the shorter time frame, and then the higher time frame would be the buy stops. But that's again if price comes up here rather than coming straight down, right? But again, it's always a good idea to have both biases, so you understand even if price goes the other way, you can still understand why, right? And how to react in terms of executions. So it clearly tapped the 5-minute EMA. Now will USD CAD make its way down, all the way down, to fill up not only the non-wick candle but tap the bottom end of the range. And again, GJ can push all the way up here. It's very close to the daily EMA, but it may not tap it yet, go up and then come back down. Let's be patient here. 3 more minutes left to close off the hour. Let's see here. All right, we're about to close off the hour in the next several seconds. So it seems that GJ did respect this range here, and is going towards tapping this 5-minute EMA. Let's look at GJ on the 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15, and 5. And again, USD CAD closed off above that range, so that's again a good reason why we didn't, connect this range. Even it may fall back, but you can understand why I was hesitant to enter this range because of how GJ was moving bearish. Right? It does not mean that GJ USD CAD can't come back, but it may go for a higher time frame EMA, and maybe that could be a better top end of the range. You can see there's a non-wick candle here as well for USD CAD. So let's see if we can place that over here. And that will be filled along with tapping the 15-minute EMA. All right, so that's how our ranges can be drawn. And again, this could be an early range, so we'll wait out to see how that plays out. But GJ, on the other hand, open up the hour like this. So again, very bearish. So again, continue the push. It's continuing to push down. And this could be that candle that pushes down past the daily EMA for us to, make a decision on if we want to enter the buy stops, and also at what level do we set the buy stops at. So good critical questions, that you have to kind of start to think about as price is approaching your target zone, right? You may already have an idea, but still have to be ready actively, right? All right, so we're just crossing 2 hours into the stream. So in the next 15 minutes now, I do want to see some type of movement here. Otherwise, this move may drag on into, pre-New York session and into New York session as well. So we don't want to drag it too long. If we can catch a move, I would like to see GJ move, either to the bottom end here or to the top end here, so we can go and activate sell. So if it's still stuck within the range, then what we'll do is we'll close off the stream, and then come back the next day, right? It has been a slower moving day for GJ today, but nothing new and nothing unexpected, right? Sometimes it does happen. It's mid-month. We had a lot of high fundamental events in the previous 2 weeks. We still have some this week, but just not at the beginning of the week. So let's see. Okay, still ongoing. SD card. Okay, it's right there. Yeah, so in the next 10 minutes or so, if we don't get some type of movement from London, for the London session for GJ, then again, I'll leave you guys with the pointers, which I've already mentioned about what setups we're looking at on the short time frame and the larger time frame. And maybe, the full plan may develop later on, right? Either pre New York or into New York or even into tomorrow. Let's see. But we need some more volume pickup so we can get some action here, right? Here comes USD CAD for the 50-minute EMA tab. And GJ is stuck in the smaller consolidation zone now. Okay, GJ is still stuck in this small consolidation zone, but definitely approaching the EMA down below, right? So I guess what I'll leave you guys with is, unless we get some big movement in the next few minutes, a large movement down to the downside, I suppose now, because again, there's a bearish push happening here. But what I leave you guys with is again that we can look at this potential range right here with the two touches. So I did mention earlier in the stream right here, 1 1 2 2, and then once it rejects here, we can look at this potential push. Also, there's a small range right here as well, and then the larger end is where we got this, right? So last week it was in this range, the last couple weeks, and then it entered into this range right here, right? So the range game is still being applied perfectly here, and it can continue up here as well, right? So on the smaller time frame, it could continue up here. On the large time, it could continue up here, and the smaller time frame, it can still continue up as well. So there's multi-layered range within range within range, and the buy position can be very lethal, right? And very reasonable with the analysis. It's just a matter of placement, right? And the exact entry. How we execute that entry is what's going to give us, the small drawdown, and if profitable, win for each setting. So I'll leave you guys with that for now. Again, it's still caught up in that. I mean, I can see GDA definitely coming up here as well. Coming down here maybe, and then going right back up and tapping the EMA before it makes a last push. But again, I would be careful and potentially set a sell stop if it does come up here, somewhere down here. So to continue that push down to tap the EMA. For USD CAD, I still don't see that it has stopped yet, but there was a 50-minute EMA here, so it could, the tap right here at 1-1, and then you got the second tap, and it can continue the way down, right? Which would be an opposite of what GJ would be doing, right? So you have to watch out for that. But I'm gonna, wrap up the stream for now. We can come back, to this range tomorrow and see how everything worked out. But I will be back for tomorrow's London session as well. So it will be again Mondays to Fridays, 1 hour before London opening. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Take care and trade safe.